Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of A Great Man Taking Over the World. It's your boy Ren here. Hey, mamma mia, how's it going? Anyways, guys, been working on this video for off and on for quite a while, pretty much since it came out. I know I'm pretty late to the party, but hey, better late than never, right? Just gonna see what I think of it and, you know, all the changes and stuff that's happened to basically the games in this collection, and just to kind of find out why the hell is it so freaking divisive within the Nintendo community and all that stuff. So guys, without further ado, let's talk about the Super Mario 3D All-Stars for the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, let's talk about it. Yahoo!
My buddies got me a Nintendo Switch for my birthday last year, and I quickly began to love the console and the option of being able to play it on my TV, or take the Switch with me and play it on the go, or just enjoy playing it laying in bed before passing out. Those first few months with the Switch was freaking awesome. I loved playing Breath of the Wild late into the cold winter nights before falling asleep. Oh yeah. I now had a whole new library of games to play, but at the same time I saw the Switch as a great place to have access to Nintendo's back catalog, well, at least in theory. Through the paid online service, we can play original NES and Super NES games, which is cool, but you couldn't get any classic N64 games on it like you could on the Wii and the Wii U, let alone getting GameCube games on it. What the hell? Super Mario 64 seemed like a no-brainer to have on the Switch, and I was hoping Mario Sunshine would appear on it one day too, as well as access to their library of awesome GameCube games. I mean, come on, I know I wasn't the only one asking for this, and it seemed like a missed opportunity, especially with the Switch now being over 3 years old, and the only other way to play these games, if you don't already have them for their original consoles, is either to possibly pay a decent chunk online for some old ass game, or just sail the high seas, which of course Nintendo frowns upon quite highly, as we all know. Honestly, ever since I got a Switch, I just wanted to have an official HD version of Mario Sunshine. Was that too much to ask? This year marks the 35th anniversary of video game's most iconic character and Nintendo's mascot, our beloved plumber, Mario. For Mario's 25th anniversary, there was a collection released on the Wii, which was essentially just Super Mario All-Stars, the 2D games from the Super NES collection. Yeah, I had no interest in that. Don't get me wrong, I love 2D Mario games, but I already had that on the Super NES, and I think you could get the games on the Wii's Virtual Console individually anyway. It's not like they were HD or anything. I don't know, I just didn't care. But an HD 3D Mario games collection? Now that I can get down with. So, for this wonderful year we call 2020, there were rumors of a possible Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection finally coming to the Nintendo Switch to celebrate 35 years of Mario. Was this actually gonna happen? What games would they include if it was? The hype was real. Me and plenty of other Nintendo fans tuned into Nintendo's direct presentations throughout the summer. You know, the presentations where they showcase various new games, partnerships, you know, updates to their system, all types of stuff. We wanted to see if a 3D Mario collection was for real, and also just any new big Nintendo game announcements for this year in general. Unfortunately, we weren't seeing it on any directs, and the presentations were kinda lackluster with no heavy hitters to be found either. We assumed the pandemic threw everything into a frenzy, which it did, but we were still eager to hear anything from Nintendo, as they were pretty silent. It was already September and there was still no word on any big releases besides Pikmin 3, a Wii U game coming to the Switch in October. Maybe the rumored 3D Mario collection was just in fact a rumor. But no, on September 3rd, Nintendo drops a direct entirely dedicated to Mario's 35th anniversary, featuring all sorts of Mario stuff, memorabilia, a Game & Watch with the original Super Mario Bros. Game, an augmented reality Mario RC style toy game hybrid thingy or something for the Switch, a Super Mario Bros. Battle Royale style game, Super Mario 3D World, another Wii U game coming in February, and of course Super Mario 3D All-Stars featuring the N64 classic, Super Mario 64, the GameCube classic, and my personal favorite, Super Mario Sunshine, and his fantastic outing on the Wii, Super Mario Galaxy, all coming out in just 2 weeks on September 18th. Damn, that release date came out of nowhere. Of course I pre-ordered it as soon as it was available on Best Buy's website, cause I would have gotten it right away regardless. But when they did announce the collection, they mentioned it would be a timed release, only available from September to March next year. I was kinda bummed that Super Mario Galaxy 2 wasn't included in this collection to make it complete. but I was still excited anyway, even just to have Mario Sunshine in HD and on the go. Controversy began immediately as people were pissed about the collection being a timed release, as it wasn't just a timed physical release, but the digital release was timed as well for some reason. Yeah, that's kinda weird, but we'll get into that later. People were also complaining that the games didn't look remade or remastered from the footage that we saw in the presentation, that they were just ports of the original versions. No upgraded textures or models or animations or anything like that, and I'll get into that later as well. So the collection just came out and I went and picked up my copy when Best Buy opened on Friday morning. Been playing these games back and forth since. I haven't beaten them yet, but I wanted to share my experience thus far. As, like I said, this isn't a review of the individual games, but rather of the collection itself. So did I get what I wanted from a 3D Mario collection? Is it something you should consider picking up? Well, let's jump right into it and find out. Let's go! So the physical release of Super Mario 3D All-Stars comes in a standard Switch case with the cover art being a collage of the original individual box art for each game. It looks fine, I like it, wouldn't have minded it if it had original art specifically made for this collection, you know, as a special celebration or something, but it's not a big deal. It looks good, it looks nice, but it kinda sucks that there's no slipcase or special shiny box or anything, or manual inside, poster, or art book. It's pretty bare bones for a celebratory release, to be honest. There's another collage on the inside cover of the game, but that's pretty much it. The 25th anniversary got a way better deal in this regard, with a nice looking box, music CD, and art book inside. Yeah, they could have done better here, that's for sure. Let's get into the games.
It's me, Mario!
Super Mario 64, Mario's very first outing in 3D, and a huge game changer back in 1996 when it launched with the new Nintendo 64 console. This game revolutionized not just platformers, but games in general. It was huge. It's considered by many as one of the best games ever made, and it is still being played and competitively speedran 24 years later. I didn't play the N64 version a whole lot, I played it more in depth and finished it on the Wii, so this is the first official HD outing of this game, at least for me. I don't know if it was HD on the Wii U, I didn't have a Wii U, didn't care to have a Wii U. And yeah, this game looks nice and clean on here on this collection. Keep in mind, this isn't a remake of any sorts, and they didn't really change textures or anything major, so you'll still notice blurry walls and floors, but the polygons look sharper and just more or less cleaned up. Mario and Bowser look nice and spiffy here. The text and the user interface look nice too. It's actually readable now. Would you look at that? This game runs at 720p, both docked and in portable mode. Not sure why they didn't make it 1080p for docked mode to make it even just a little bit more sharp. It's kind of weird. There's no 60 frames per second edition either, in case anyone was wondering. I don't mind that too much as it retains the old look and feel, but what I do mind is that there's no widescreen for some reason. Sure, not having it retains the old look and feel as well, but just seems out of place and lazy not to include this at the very least, especially since Mario Sunshine is in widescreen on this collection. Like, what the hell, Nintendo? That's really my main gripe with this game on here. We definitely could have used the extra screen real estate when playing in portable mode, that's for sure. No changes to the controls, so if you haven't played this before, or it's been a while, it may take a little adjustment as Mario can feel slippery compared to the newer games, although I still love how acrobatic he is here. It's surprising how many moves and the versatility they gave Mario from his first 3D venture here. I do still hate his fucking U-turn that he does. I've died so many times because of this back in the day. Anyone who's played this game before, you know what I'm talking about. Mario's controls can be overlooked, but the camera is noticeably bad. If they could have updated anything in regards to controls, they should have done this. Oh well, I guess the shitty camera is just part of the classic experience then, right? This is technically an emulation of the reissued Japanese Shindao version of this game, so it includes controller rumble, but they did change some of the audio. Mainly from what I can tell, they removed the iconic "So long, gay Bowser" line when Mario throws Bowser during boss fights.
So long, gay Bowser.
So long, gay Bowser!
Does he actually say "So long, gay Bowser"? That's up to your interpretation, but it sure as hell sounds like it to me and a lot of other people. He now just says bye-bye, because it's that Japanese reissued version I was talking about.
Bye-bye!
In Japan, they don't call him Bowser, but rather King Koopa, so I guess it makes sense sort of. Either way, it kinda sucks it's gone. So long, gay Bowser.
So long, gay Bowser!
Some glitches from the original non-Shindao version are gone, like the back long jump used in the speedrunning community, so I'm guessing those guys are still gonna stick to the N64 version for that. I don't speedrun, so I don't care, but speedruns of this game can be fun to watch. They did remake the N64 version of this game for the Nintendo DS handheld in 2004. I know some people would have liked them to have included the DS version of this game here, as they redid textures, models, and even some core aspects of the game there. It would have been cool if we had the option to play this version, but not at the expense of being the replacement of the N64 version. To have included both would have been awesome, but would have been asking way too much from Nintendo, right? I mean, come on, let's be real here. I actually like that they kept the retro N64 look and think we needed this version on the Switch before they end up eventually remaking it from the ground up, which is actually what a lot of people were expecting. A full-on remake. I think that was expecting too much. Yes, Nintendo can be lazy, but also that would have been a standalone $60 game, like how Link's Awakening remake was, not as part of a collection of games. No way. Don't get me wrong, I do want a full-on remake of this game eventually, but like I said, I wanted a cleaned up N64 version available on the Switch before all else. Obviously, this game stands out the most in terms of looking and feeling dated compared to the other 3D Mario games, but you gotta keep in mind this game is almost 25 years old and is from a time when 3D games were still in their infancy, as I'm sure you can tell. All in all, I'm totally cool with this version being the way it is on here, but a lack of widescreen just seems like a glaring omission. That at the very least should have been included. Come on now.
Super Mario Sunshine! Woohoo!
Super Mario Sunshine is my personal favorite Mario game. I made a super in-depth and nostalgic retrospective review for this game a few years ago, so be sure to go check that video out if you haven't already. I could admit some of the other 3D Mario games play better and are better designed, but this is the one that got me into Mario games, playing it back on the GameCube when it came out just at the end of the summer in 2002. The colorful graphics, memorable tunes, and the summertime vibe kept me coming back to it. I still like playing it, even for just a few hours when the hot summer weather kicks in each year while I sip on a cold brew and just relax. Oh yeah. There's always been a divisive opinion on this game from people ever since it was first announced back in the day, because it brought in that new gameplay aspect of Mario touting his Super Soaker backpack where you have to clean goop all around the levels like some sort of environmentalist or something. People didn't like that it took away from the straightforward platforming focused nature of Super Mario 64, understandably so. Anyway, how does it fare in this collection? The HD visuals look fantastic. This game looks so crisp thanks to the docked 1080p resolution, and thank God it was released with widescreen this time unlike Mario 64, which still makes no sense to me. They didn't change textures or models in this one either, but the clean and sharp look is very good regardless. This game holds up much better in this department, but there is no 60 frames per second update in this game either, and I did notice a little bit of frame drops here and there where I don't remember them before in the old version. Nothing too bad though. I noticed that the cutscenes are widescreen too, but it looks like they just zoomed in, cropping the top and bottom of the original image, which is stupid, but it's not the end of the world since this game isn't like really cutscene heavy anyway. The button mapping is different, but the fundamental controls are the same, so if you didn't like how Mario controlled before, you're probably not going to change your mind here. Not that I personally ever had an issue with anything but the camera in this game, which it still sucks. Not anywhere near as bad as Mario 64, but it still sucks like it did 18 years ago. They did remap the buttons, which threw me off for a while because of my muscle memory from the GameCube version. First off, because the Switch doesn't have analog shoulder buttons like the GameCube controller did, you have two different buttons to use instead of one to shoot your water nozzle. On the GameCube, you could hold down the R trigger lightly to shoot water while you run around, and then if you pressed it all the way down, you'd be forced to stand still, but it would allow you to aim your nozzle up and down. To make up for the lack of that here on the Switch, ZR is to lightly shoot and run around, while R is to stand still and aim up and down. It's kinda weird, but hey, I guess it's the best they could do with the Switch controls. They also changed a few layouts, like the button placement to change your nozzle types or to zoom in to do the over-the-shoulder aiming, and it's funny to hear Flood not say button names when he's instructing you on how to use him because of the change of the layout or the addition of buttons that didn't exist originally. It's funny.
To refill tank, enter a body of water and press the button.
When this collection first came out, the camera and aiming with the flood nozzle was inverted from how it originally was, with no option to change it back, which was quite annoying and really messed with my muscle memory of this game. There was also no GameCube controller support, which made absolutely no sense. I guess Nintendo got the hint because they did update this collection to include these features recently. We can now change the camera and aiming inversion to our liking, and also we can now play this game with a GameCube controller to get that authentic Mario Sunshine experience, as long as you do have an adapter for the Switch. And yes, the analog shoulder buttons are now supported just like they were in the original GameCube game. I initially thought this version of Sunshine on this collection was great and all, but it could have definitely been better by giving us control options and the GameCube controller support. Now, since this new update, I feel like this is the definitive version. This game finally got the authentic treatment it deserves. It's beautiful and I'm very happy with it. Plus, it's just so cool to be able to play Sunshine portably now too. Super Mario Galaxy. I was not a big fan of the Wii. I did like it to a point and had plenty of fun with it, but I felt it was definitely a gimmicky console aimed at casual gamers. I was not, and am still not, a huge fan of motion controls, especially for games like this that don't really need them. But of course, the Wii had to force feed that motion control bullshit into everything, didn't it? But this was a 3D Mario game, so the controls didn't bother me that much back then. I remember I wanted to get a Wii for Super Mario Galaxy alone, as the new gameplay aspect of platforming on small little planets seemed really novel. Running around, going upside down, and jumping around from planet to planet dealing with gravity was so freaking cool. The soundtrack was spectacular and was the first Mario game to go with an orchestral sound, making the game feel really grand and epic. The visuals for it being a Wii game were really freaking good, but weren't HD like the other systems of the time, such as the Xbox 360 and PS3. I always thought the game would actually look current gen at the time if it were in HD. I mean, it just looked great regardless. So the game here on this collection does look beautiful, and it runs at 1080p 60 frames per second docked and 720p 60 FPS in portable, although I believe the resolution might dip a little here and there depending on certain sections of the game. Either way, it looks clean, vibrant, and colorful, just what this fantastic game deserves. Since the idea of a 3D collection coming to the Switch, I was wondering how they'd implement the Wii motion controls from the original game, since the Switch isn't set up with the sensor bar like the Wii. But I guess I thought they could make it work, since the reasonably priced Joy-Cons and Pro controllers do have gyroscope motion built in that could work as a pointer while aiming in certain games and things like that. I've played first-person shooters with my Pro controller where you use the gyro controls to assist with aiming, and it wasn't too bad, but with a game like this, it feels kinda weird. But it works, it's okay. Playing with Joy-Cons in each hand similar to the Wiimote and nunchucks seems like the best way to play, at least for me, since it mimics the original experience the best that way, since you do still have to aim with the pointer to collect star bits. You press the R trigger to recenter the pointer to make up for the lack of a Wii sensor bar, which is fine. I mean, you don't even have to point at the screen to aim. I think this actually works pretty good. I kinda don't like playing Galaxy in portable mode, mainly because I have to touch the screen to emulate aiming at a TV or monitor with the controller. I know it's kinda weird because the Switch screen is a touchable interactive screen, but I rarely have to touch it and sometimes forget you even can, because I personally prefer pressing buttons and not smearing the screen with my dirty old fingers. I don't know, that's just me, but I mean, hey, this is actually a good and natural way to be able to aim in portable mode. Can't really say anything bad about this version of Super Mario Galaxy. It's beautiful. They did a great job implementing the motion controls from the original Wii version, and I like that there are a lot of options in terms of aiming your pointer here by using Pro controllers, Joy-Cons, or the touchscreen when in portable mode. It's overall pretty awesome, but where the hell is Super Mario Galaxy 2? So overall, I'm gonna give Super Mario 3D All-Stars an 8 out of 10. It's fantastic to finally have these 3 classic Mario games available in HD in one convenient place on the Nintendo Switch, and with the option to play them portably too. I already have these games on their respective consoles, but this is where I'll play them from now on. They look nice and crisp, and boy howdy, there's nothing like playing some Mario 64 and hearing its nostalgic tunes as I'm snuggled in bed, nice and cozy just before nodding off to slumberland. Or being able to play Mario Sunshine anywhere I go. I can literally be outside, in the sunshine, playing Sunshine. Would you look at that?
Yo, where the hell's the sunshine? Freezing my balls here.
Or hell, I can even now play Mario Galaxy to infinity and beyond. I probably would have given this collection a 9 out of 10 if they included the wonderful sequel to Super Mario Galaxy, and I would have given it a 9.5 if they gave Mario 64 widescreen. The menu could have been spruced up to include more options or features for these games, as well as more extras or something. The added soundtracks to each game is nice, but how about some artwork or interviews from the development cycles or documentaries or something to give this a little more oomph? Nintendo definitely could have put more effort into making this collection really feel like a celebration. Better packaging, a lenticular or sexy holographic slipcase, poster, manual, art book, or something. Going that extra little mile would have made this a 10 out of 10 easily. So, you know, this collection does feel kind of rushed, but is it worth the $60? It depends. For me, while not perfect, hell yes, for all the reasons I've already stated. But if you were expecting remakes similar to the Crash Insane trilogy or the Spyro trilogy, this might not be for you, unless you haven't played these games and are definitely still intrigued to try these classics out after you've seen all that's been mentioned here. I've seen a lot of people upset by this collection not being remakes or even ports with any kind of texture modifications or anything of that sort, but rather that these are more or less just copy and paste emulations from the original sources. Even though Nintendo did modify Sunshine for widescreen and integrated the Switch's Joy-Cons for Galaxy, these games aren't much different than their original releases. People also argue that you can play these games on PC or a modded Switch for free already, and with higher resolutions, frame rates, and newer models and textures, which is fine for those people, but honestly an official nostalgic release of HD versions of these games is exactly what I wanted. If you're disappointed by this collection, by all means go play those PC versions, or enjoy them on their original consoles if you already have them. If anything, this emulation is cool because Nintendo had to create an emulator to play these games, so that means we might get other N64, GameCube, and Wii games on the Switch eventually. Will they actually add them to their online service similar to the NES and Super NES ones that we currently have? Probably not. Not unless they increase the price of the subscription. Either way, I'd be happy to purchase HD versions of more 64, GameCube, and Wii games separately. And of course, I gotta bring up that limited release thing again. It kinda sucks that this collection won't be available after March, physically or digitally. This doesn't affect me since I bought it right away, but I know some people won't be able to get it, or get it with a Switch in time, you know, with that gosh darn pandemic thing going on that's thrown this year into a fucking frenzy. So I don't know, will these games be released again after March, like separately or as part of their online service or something? Who really knows? Nintendo does some weird ass shit sometimes, but apparently you can still get physical copies easily in stores for now. Maybe there will still be plenty of copies well after March, not sure. Either way, this time to release thing needed to be mentioned. So to wrap it up once again, to me this is an awesome nostalgic package and is totally worth it. It's not perfect, there could have been a bit more here, but I'm definitely happy with it. HD versions of my favorite 3D Mario games on the Nintendo Switch is what I always wanted. Oh yeah, baby!
So guys, thanks for joining me on another episode. This time took a look at Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Pretty cool collection, but hey, it's got a lot of divisive opinions on it. Yeah, so if you enjoyed it, be sure to like the video. Helps out a ton. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already done so. We're so freaking close to 1,000 subscribers, I can almost taste it. If you guys haven't checked out the Super Mario Sunshine review I did a couple years back, be sure to check it out. It's pretty epic. You'll definitely enjoy it if you like what you saw here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me know how you're doing. Hope you're staying safe. Yeah, I might as well get into that Christmas spirit since I'm already here. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. It was great talking to you and all that good stuff. You guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And until next time, I will see you. Okay, ciao, baby. Okay, yeah.
Mamma mia!
Okay, get rid of my boner. At least try to. So long, Gay Bowser. So long, Gay Bowser. So long, Gay Bowser. Babe, you're not helping. Shh. Stop. What the hell? No. Okay. Shh.
Shh. Okay, go.
So long, Gay Bowser. So long, Gay Bowser. So long, Gay Bowser. So long, Gay Bowser.
Oh, stop.
So long, Bowser!